Alright, so I made a video on this before, but this time it's literally all me. So first off, we got the teacher over there. Give me a second. Relax, teach. Hold on. But so let me kind of give you a look through on what's happening here. So in this game engine, everything is made up of nodes. Okay, players, objects, anything you make is made up of nodes. This node is a character body, so it lets them know like, oh, this is going to be an entity, a playable character, or anything like that. This is the image. Let's look at this. So you have the body, which is just a placeholder. You give that body an image, okay, and that gives you this adorable looking guy, okay. But you can't do anything unless you code. It needs a logic. So we have a variable, which stands for direction. Vector 2, which is vector meaning like think math, like freaking coordinates, basically. Coordinates, vector 2, okay. And then this colon set basically is telling the variable that like the only things we can use for you is a vector. So now that it knows that, we give it a base vector. So it says vector 2 0 0 0. I mean 0 0. That's just a placeholder. So it's basically saying you're a variable, okay, we're gonna use you, but you can only accept being used by vectors. Okay, so it's coordinates, okay, and then we got speed. So this creates the variable speed, and it's the colon is telling it you can only be used by an integer, which is 100 for the speed, okay. And then we have function dot underscore process delta. So function is just like, it's just saying, hey, you do something, right? And then process is basically like it runs every frame of the game. So while the game is running, anything down here in this scope or table is what's going to be running each second of the game. Delta, we'll get into that soon. So now if input dot action is press, if input dot is action press write, okay, so we go up here, we go to project, and you can see write is defined as A, which is WASD, A for, wait, what? Am I stupid? Did I say right? Is right actually A? Why am I so stupid? Anyway, oh no, left is A. I'm just, oh my god, I'm tired. Anyway, so D is right, okay? So if I press D on this keyboard, that's going to take me to the right, and I'll tell you why. So you have direction, okay, which is this is got to take a vector. So naturally, right on, from a coordinate standpoint, from a graph, you got the little cross, and then you have on this side your negatives, and on this side your positives. So naturally, right would be positive on the x-axis. So we do vector 2, x and y, x, y, x plus 1, right? So now we've defined that if we press this key, we're going to go up 1 on the x-axis, which is, of course, right. And then we have the position, okay? So the position of the player is going to be added upon by the direction times the speed. So remember, the direction is right, okay, times the speed. So now we're moving right at the speed of 100 times delta. So what is delta? So naturally, all right, let's say I didn't use delta. So first, let's just look at the speed. Normal speed. Now, let's take away delta. Let's see. Let's remove delta here. Just have the speed. See how fast that is? The guy is gone. And that's because when you have a powerful computer, frames of a game can vary. So to make sure all the frames stay the exact same, you use delta. not all the frames, but to make sure the movement stays the exact same across frames, use delta. So boom, movement normal. So I just gave him logic, and I'm only really proud of this because like I didn't really use any references. This was just off the dome. I'm going to figure out, because I'm trying to make an RPG, and this video is already getting too long, so I won't even get into all that. But like, yeah, I'm freaking I want to make it so you press one action and you can't press another. So look at this. See how I can just do that? I don't want it to be that way. So I'm going to see if I can figure that out.